What's up, y'all? Austin Jordan. I know it's been a hot minute. Director of One Buzz One Campus. It's been a hot minute, as I was saying, because like I said before, I've had a lot going on. Ironically as it is, after that video I posted about a few days ago, maybe a week ago, I actually caught the flu. So I'm currently stuck on a cough drop. So if you hear me coughing, or if y'all guys if I stop to catch a breath, it's not because I'm dying, it's just because, I'm just coming back from the flu. I realize I haven't posted in about almost 3 months. So I figured let's kick this off, give y'all something special, which I do got some special stuff for y'all. So, this is episode 8. Finally. And I think we're going to call this special episode here. We're going to say this is close to the intro to the development era. Because as I said in my notes before, the development era is 2000. We're covering, and this is a special episode because I want to extend it as much as possible. We're going to be covering through 1990, not 1900. Hold on. Shoot. Forgive me, I'm still a little loopy. 1990, and I think we're going to cover a little over 2000, so maybe 2010. I'm thinking 2010. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what my goal is. However much space my iPad can hold up. Now, before we get into this, I had a pre-recording of rewards. I was going to do this episode further ahead until I got sick. And unfortunately, that recording... Oh, dropped my notes. Unfortunately, that recording is lost. So we're going to redo that, and I guess dive in from there. So, let's get into that. Okay, so we have our presentation here. Ta-da! Okay, so first slide we're going to go over is, remember when we did the booth back in December? I think it was December. I remember everyone who came there, he wrote your name down. You were entered to have a drawing. Well, there was so few names that we only picked one instead of 3 people. So the one person who did win this... Oh wait, it completely skipped the slide. Okay, it's bugging, but... Yeah, the booth. Okay. So here's the pictures from the booth. Here's one of my sponsors, Mr. Barksdale, amazing dude. Coming to Bryant, he's awesome. But it was Kenley Little. So, I think I've already sent an email out around the time I was going to start doing this episode. But congrats to Kenley Little for winning the drawing. Unfortunately, there's no reward. I have a $1 bill, I guess, but... Anyways. Arkansas Traditions are still one of our proud sponsors here at Austin J Productions. They've came through a lot. Hats, wallets, keychains, and more. If you want something special, custom, and leatherwork, Arkansas Traditions in Benton, Arkansas, just look them up on Facebook. They make amazing products. More, and there is something additional for that at the end of this episode, so stick around due to sponsorship. Alright, after watching that brief episode being for the intro, again, congratulations to Kenley Little for winning. Arkansas Traditions, thank you for being a big sponsor for this cause. Now, let's talk 90s. That was pretty corny. Okay, so, as y'all remember, and this is something I've brought up probably for the past 3 episodes, I still have the iceberg, which I still did. It just broke. Anyways, I still have this iceberg, and this is what's going to be carrying me through some of this information. This gives me more to yap about. Sorry for y'all who don't like when I yap. Okay, so it wasn't until 1990 when Bryant started remodeling. For example, History Wing Building 8 it looked a lot more different than before they remodeled. But that building had its remodelement in the 90s. I know Building 18, which is something I got from another interview, was that Building 18 had a few cracks in it, I guess is the way to put it. Not probably literally, but just in terms, it just had some cracks. So like, but repair-wise, they kind of just threw Band-Aids on it and stuff like that. Not saying they literally put a Band-Aid on the wall, but like, small breaks, small fixes. They didn't really like destroy the building, rebuild it. They didn't do no big fixes. They just kind of did some temporary fixes to try to have it last as long as it can. So small heals, pretty much. Small heals. 1991. The first air conditioner was added into classrooms. It's crazy to think that they just added AC into these big metal buildings, okay? Because keep in mind, building 19 and 20 were the junior high gyms. Right by building 18 and building 15. They're parking lots today, but you can picture those metal tin buildings. So is building 5, which is... No, not building 4, which is not here. It was also a gym. Solid steel building. You're out in the open field campus. The sun's beating down. It's going to get hot. So the fact they didn't have an AC beforehand makes you wonder how they stayed cool before they added AC. Like, did they keep box fans in there? Did they, like... I don't know, did they have, like, them warehouse fans that, like, stand like this freaking tall, and they're just like... Because that might have been the case, I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, it's kind of weird. AC wasn't added till 91, so it makes me wonder who said something for them to add it. Okay. 1995. This doesn't have to do with the Bryant High School, however... This was the year that Bryant went to a massive expansion of stores and neighborhoods, beginning an introduction of massive duplexes. So if you look around Bryant High School, like if you like drive, not in the campus, but off the campus and around it, you'll notice all these like fancy-ish houses. Some of them are 2-story. Some of them are like 2 houses together. They're 2 stories, called a duplex. You see those? Those houses started to become normalized in 95, and they still are being built to this day. Some looking a lot more modern than today. 1990 was 1990s in general, because I have no more notes for the 90s here. It was also the year where sports were a big, not really a big deal, but they were a big thing. And this is whenever Coach Danny Westbrook, which we did an interview a while back, I think this is the year the time stamp where he brought cross country into the school. As a matter of fact, I was looking through some yearbooks not too long ago. I will put a photo here. Actually, no. Scratch that. I have a photo on what's coming up later on today, and I'll explain that. So, 1990, for students, of course, you had the trends. Some of the things that were trending back then were baggy pants. Sometimes they were bell bottoms, which, if you don't know what bell bottoms are, it's kind of what girls would wear, but they're jeans that were kind of skinny around the legs, but once you got to the feet, they kind of opened up like bells. Tank tops. Guys wore tank tops a lot. We call them wife beaters, but just picture walking around Like, watch a movie that came out around the early 2000s. Or watch, like, High School Musical. I've never watched it. I don't know what I'm yapping about. Anyways. 1999 was a big year. But not because of the school and not because of the city. As a matter of fact, 1999 was the year that students were quote-unquote afraid. The reason why was because of this theory that went around for a long time where the world was going to end in 2000. This theory came from a name called Y2K. If you've heard that term before, Y2K is pretty much what they called the 2000th year, which was 2000. But they believed that Y2K would be the very end of the world. Kind of a weird theory. Because then people thought 2012 would be the end of the world, but it wasn't. It's kind of interesting. But as you move into 2000, some of the things did change. Not a lot, though. What you're looking at here is kind of just your basic stuff that happened in the 90s. There wasn't much for Bryant in the 90s. I mean, alongside things like, maybe like outfit changes from like athlete outfits to like their mascot, which is a really derpy photo of their mascot from there. I have a picture I'm showing y'all later. But yeah, we're going to look into that. So, yeah, I'm going to get this on the big screen and let's go to the slideshow. So, yeah. So, it's getting hot in here. Hold on. Okay, so, here's the slideshow. Now, we're going to, it says here that this is from 1998 plus, so this is going to go up to 2000. However, we're not going up to 2000 for now. For now, we're actually just going to go to 1999. So, quick disclaimer. Most of these photos are from yearbooks, archives, other additional information. Faces will be blocked with a Bryant logo to enforce the safety of another student's identity. So, if, let's say you're watching this episode, which I don't know if anyone really is, but if you're watching this episode and you look familiar, and it is you, then let me know. And I will be sure to do something about that. So, I'm trying to stay out of frame so I don't get in y'all's way. So, 1998. So, this photo I choose because this is kind of an example of what I was talking about when it comes to outfits. So, back in 1998, this is a cheerleader outfit, I guess is the way I put it. You can tell that it's different from today's, because today's it's more darker blue, it's white, and it just says BHS, I think. I don't remember. Something you can also realize that there's also red in the outfit, which is not part of Bryant's colors. However, even there's a red bow on this lady, so it's kind of weird. I didn't know red was part of our colors. I don't think it is, though. Oh. This photo takes place in 98, and this is actually, if I'm right, a picture from Building 4. So, I don't even know what these kids are doing. I think they're dancing. If not, they're trying to fight each other, like kick fight, if that makes sense. But it's basically like wooden backboards. It looked like, I think these are like tables back here. I think there's also a commerce area, an eating area. You can see some of the patterns of the court on the floor. They're kind of hard to make out because it's black and white. Another photo. This is, I think, a finance classroom. And if you look at these computers, these are some pretty old computers you're looking at. So keep in mind the year's 1998. Technology is advanced, but not super advanced. So you have these box computers on these big base PCs. And yeah, this is a student working on, I believe, an essay using Microsoft or Dell or whatever the heck it is. I don't even know. That's a Caleb question. Another example. This looks a little more accurate. I think that says Sling County Library. I think that's kind of funny. Yeah, that's Dell. This is definitely on Microsoft. I think this is Microsoft 98 or Microsoft XP. It's one of the older ones, though. I know that for sure. That's a document formatting device service that they're using. Here's what I said about earlier. This is the cross-country team. Over on your right, this is Coach Westbrook. This was back in 98, so this is a pretty aged photo. I think this is the first girls cross-country team, or one of the first. Still, it's black and white, so you can't really tell some of the photo and what the outfits are, but I could assume that they were white with blue lettering and, like, the blue stripes. I don't think there was no red on it. And the last photo we have for the 1990s is this photo here, which I only picked this because, one, this is in Building 2. Building 2 is, is one of the buildings I've been trying to look deeper into. There's not much information on. And they actually have payphones that you could use between classes. I thought that was a pretty interesting little bit because since when has the school ever allowed you to have a phone, Kind of interesting. I didn't think you could have a payphone in school, but I think this is 35 cents to use the dialer. And, yeah, I guess it's pretty neat. So, yeah, that's the photos for 1990s, and we'll be coming back shortly to do 2000s. So, yeah, let's talk about the 2000s now. 20 through 2010, here we come. Okay, so after a look at that presentation for 1990s, we're going to get into the 2000s. Specifically, 2000 all the way to 2010. So, here's some things we're going to cover. We currently are stepping into the developmental era. How crazy is that? We just bounced from 10 years to another 10 years in a matter of like 20, 30 minutes. So, here's how we're going to cover this. Okay. 2001, as you already know, this is kind of a thing that you're going to hear in a lot of history things, but as a lot of y'all know, if y'all go to public school, and even homeschool, have parents that were around. September 1st, 2001 was a terrorist attack on Twin Towers, which was what we call 9/11. This was a big event, not even just for public schools, but for the entire nation, because it was a threat against our country. But public schools took it pretty seriously, so we have days where we, specifically like junior high, sometimes middle school, it depends on where you're at in the country. But in junior high, usually you watch a documentary over it around the day of or day before 9/11, so you can kind of understand that. Usually assignments are based around 9/11 when it comes through. Yeah, it was a terrorist attack. I think it was from Saddam Hussein. We're not going to get to a history lesson yet because we're learning about a different kind of history. But September 11th, 2001 it affected Bryant as well. Because if you go there, some of the teachers were around when it happened. A lot of them still teach there from when it happened. It was a tragic day. It was really tragic, especially for people who had family in the towers. That's not even the worst of it. In 2000 or 2001, somewhere between 2000 and 2010, between that time, Bryant High School got tons and tons of bomb threats. There was times where students were gonna get evacuated home. There was one time in specific where every student was taken to the church, the First Methodist Church, I think is what it is, down there on South Bryant, because of a bomb threat that was possibly active. There's the whole thing in the yearbook. I have it on the slideshow. Let's see. 2003 was another big bounce, I guess you could say, because the Bryant Elementary / Middle School. So as you remember, Building 17 and Building 18 made the Joe Lyman Elementary, and then the middle school, and it was part of the high school, some elementary. It was a really weird anomaly. It wasn't until 2003 when there was an expansion built onto the Bryant Elementary School, which BES is this big building, right? There's the cafeteria, and then there's Bryant Middle School. But Bryant Middle School is these two little hallways. There wasn't much of it. In 2003, they built that massive expansion onto it, which makes today's Bryant Middle School. Joe Lyman Elementary School and Middle School got moved there, and Building 1718 officially became part of the campus. Now, as far from the 2000s, still a lot of bomb threats. New classes were introduced. We had a big bankruptcy coming through, which that's foreshadowing something does happen similar to that in the future. But there's a few things that are kind of taken onto the waves of the bankruptcy line, to where it's like it's kind of over, and then it's under, and it's back over, and it's under, and it goes up a little, and it's back under. It's kind of weird. Whenever we strike down to about 2006. 2006 was a year where I think that was one of their peak golden times in the 2000s, because that's whenever students started coming to Bryant for the educational courses, because Bryant is one of the only schools in Sling County that offers tons and tons and tons of college offers. We have Sling County Career Center. We have pre-education classes as of 1999. We have courses for construction at the Career Center. We have HVAC, medical. We have ROTC like most schools. If that's not your thing, then you've got athletics, basketball, football, baseball, track, cross country, golf, lacrosse. I don't even know what that is. It's just something that exists. Yeah. This is, I think I said we're going to go to 2010, but I think I want to kind of progress till about 2014, 2015. So I think we're going to go to 2014 just because I like talking about the present. So I think we're just going to cover 2014 while we're at it. Because there's not much events that took place between 00 and 10. 2008, another major year. Well, probably not for y'all. But on June 18th of 2008, I was born. No one cares. Anyways, 2010, Bethel Middle School was built. I didn't go to Bethel as a kid, so I'm gonna explain that to me. I think it started to turn into a war because 2012 Hill Farm Elementary was built. I had family that went to Hill Farm, so. I didn't think it was built in 2012. Anyways, we're gonna go back one year because 2011. This is something that if you're taking notes over the stuff, this is where you're gonna want to take notes. Because 2011 was when two things happened. One, Bryant High School only became Bryant High School. There was no junior high. They said middle, high, graduate. Not middle, junior, high, graduate. Junior high was separated to where middle school was grades 6 through 8 and high school was grades 9 through 12. It was split between the two. 2011 also was the groundbreaking. If you don't know what that was, but if you don't know what that is, but you might have a hint, you might already know. You know that big fat white building, Building 10, that sits right out there? You know, the first building you see anywhere? That's when that building was starting getting built. The groundbreaking was where they had all the teachers. I think they had some of the senior high students. They had a lot of people come together and they broke the ground. Basically speaking, they grabbed shovels and they started beating the ground and they started trying to flatten out the land to get ready to build this massive building. I have a photo I'm going to put up here, and this is going to be a photo of building the ground after the groundbreaking, before they started building the building. Excuse me. Now, things are going good now. They just cleared a lot of space to build this big building. Well, they're getting to building this building, and then that's whenever something kind of bad happens. What I speak of was the millage crisis of 2014. What was the millage crisis, you might ask? Well, we voted against the millage. I think's how that worked. I don't know how to explain it, however, I do know somebody who can. His name is Doug Maxwell. He is a teacher at the Bryant High School. I haven't done an interview in so long, so this is kind of fun for me. His name is Doug Maxwell. He's been a teacher there since early 2000s, and he is a robotics teacher. And I'm not gonna lie, he's a really nice dude to talk to. He's really chill, really straightforward. I thought he was pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and play that interview now. Alrighty. I'm here today with Mr. Maxwell, who is the engineering and robotics teacher here at the Bryant High School, Building 22, one of the oldest buildings on this campus, actually.
Yes, sir.
So, first question, would you like to start with, what is your profession, to just announce?
I am a teacher, have been a teacher since 1996.
Here at Bryant?
No. I've taught in Cross County, Arkansas, or Cross County High School, junior high, elementary in Cherry Valley, Arkansas. I taught at Westside High School in Jonesboro, and then here.
Nice. When did you start teaching here at the high school?
Fall of 2000.
Fall 2000? Alrighty. So how would you describe your time here at Bryant?
Enjoyable. I mean, it's been a roller coaster ride, I guess. Been through quite a few principals, been through quite a few superintendents, watched the school grow and double in size from what it was when I first arrived here. There's not many buildings still that are still here that were here originally when I was here. So lots of growth there, a lot of turnover from the staff.
Yeah, I was doing a little bit of research over it. And there's two gyms out here by this building, actually, Building 21 and 20.
20 and 21, the girls' gym and the boys' gym, yes.
Yes, and then...
technically those were junior high gyms at that point in time, and then got taken over a little bit by the high school, so yes. Used to be an old girls' gym, Building 4 on the other side.
What was your... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, you're good.
So, there was a millage that happened in 2014, 2015, and it was
very impactful on some of the teachers here at Bryan. Some teachers retired, and some teachers, they kind of said that they don't have the money, they're not getting paid enough to get the resources, or they're just not able to get the resources in general, so people backed out. You were a teacher at the time, correct?
So you're referring to the one that passed in 2014, or are you talking about the one that failed?
The one that failed.
Okay.
The one that, like a decline on our school's
Yes.
economy.
So actually we had a couple of millage attempts. Really, it got to a point where Bryan High School size-wise had gotten a whole lot larger than what it was ever intended to be. The school was already spread out even wider than what it is today, with probably twice as many buildings, and it was kind of getting to the point where it needed to be done. Things needed to be upgraded, and a lot of the community was still seeing us as a smaller school, and part of it was there were talks and things floating around the community that we were going to build a brand new high school and split into two schools, and so there were lots of kind of issues and things. It was kind of rough on the staff because our class numbers were going up, facilities were going down. They weren't seeing a whole lot of updates and things like that happening. Salaries had gotten kind of frozen there, and so you weren't seeing pay increases. So it got to be a little difficult.
Some teachers, and there were some teachers who, at the time, and there was also some comments found about it, but they're like, my students, I'm not getting paid enough to raise these students. I'm going to leave here. There's also comments regarding to, an art teacher that used to work here. She said that she loves her class. Her class got a little bigger, but it was never a problem. But the problem was the materials and supplies. They were running low on paint, colored pencils, and
we had it really good for a long time, especially for it being the size it was. But like I said, when you started having growing pains and you started having to kind of tighten your belt, and when you were dealing with the kind of facilities and budgets that you've been dealing with for a while, it got to a point where it made it difficult. Yes, there were expectations on us were a little bit more in what we had to provide. We were having to go out and buy a whole lot of things for ourselves. We weren't getting that student money, was having to go back into to take care of other things and to hire other staff positions just because we needed to have them. And that, yeah.
So after the entire thing, when do you think everything started kind of coming back to that normal level? What would you say, around a year or a month? Or
really, after it was getting better before the last millage passed that allowed us to build Building 10, which has been here now for
about 9 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think completion of it was about 9 years. So, the part you're kind of hitting at was kind of the lowest point. It was really starting to trend upward at that point in time. I think the community started to have buy-in there, and the community started seeing it. We started opening things up and bringing more people in, and I think that helped a lot. People were still seeing Bryan High School as the one that they graduated with, and they were like, things were great then, they were fun. Those facilities are still good, and I think when people started being able to come in and kind of tour, they started doing tours of the buildings and things like that right there. I think that kind of swayed public opinion a little bit, and so made it a little easier. Once that passed, that kind of freed things up. Administration wasn't as tight and worried about where's money going to come from and everything else, so that helped. Got a little bit more money from the state too. They kind of changed their educational funding a little bit, so that helped.
So this question I didn't write down because it kind of just crossed my mind, but in 2000, and this is something I've read in one of the books in the library, but there was a bomb threat against the school in 2000. Would you have any knowledge on kind of when that was and how that affected?
2000. From 2000 till 2004, we had a couple. it happened sporadically. We did have one period of time where I can't. I think it was probably around 2003 where we had like 3 days in a row where somebody decided to call in a bomb threat. I mean, there was never anything of it, but unfortunately, I think what wound up turning up was just students trying to look for
Just an out.
an outlet and a way out of school. There was nothing ever found. I don't think there was any malice intent at all. It was
Yeah.
just you kind of hear some of those things in the news, and hey, let's try that. Not always the wisest decision,
Yeah.
but
The news kind of like, and this is not me going against the news or anything, but they do kind of seem to make things bigger than they seem.
well, I mean, nobody wants to read a story that everything is great and everything's fine. It's a whole
Yeah.
lot better when you can kind of sensationalize things. Absolutely,
The
but.
news usually never has like good news. So.
Yeah, and it made it difficult. It made it difficult here on us, turning around and trying to get just some normalcy, especially when you're having to turn around and take kids down to the football stadium, which is where we would evacuate, and then after that, you tried not to do the same thing over and over again, just in the case that something legitimate is there. You don't want to be predictable in what you're doing, so that made it a little stressful, I guess, on staff and on teachers.
What were some of the things, in your opinion, that impacted Bryant's progression?
I mean, I think Bryant's been a good school district as far as as far back as I can that I've been here, and I think you've had a lot of people start moving from Little Rock and start moving out this way, which numbers impacted, kind of changed the feel for it. Before then, and early 2000s, things like that, there was really a whole lot of community. Just about everybody who was here, their parents or grandparents went to school here. There wasn't a lot of completely new people moving in. The same thing happened with the staff. Most of the staff had been here for a long period of time. I mean, until about 2008, 2010, there really wasn't a lot of staff turnover. This was kind of the go-to, and then as we get bigger, you're having to reach out, and you're getting the kind of, I don't want to say the face of the school changed a little bit, but you didn't have those people that had always been here and all of that. So new ideas start coming in and new feels. So had some growing pains there a little bit. Staff changes started happening a lot more. Some of the people that had been here for a long periods of time were retiring and all of that. So you started bringing in people from different areas of the state. So those kind of changed the dynamics of the school a little bit. But I think it's all for the better.
Do you by chance have any photos? Now this is another big question that I didn't write, but I've asked almost everybody I have an interview. Do you by chance have any or photos of any of the buildings that were here before they were taken down? Or where to find any photos? Like building 4, 2, the gyms.
Are you looking for like outside photos or inside photos? I mean,
Like maybe a little bit of both, if that's...
because I mean, the old yearbooks would have lots of those things in there, which are in the library. You can turn around and pull those. Almost every one of them does. I don't know. I could look and see, because early 2000 till about 2010, I was still coaching here, so we were just still doing volleyball in Building 4, so I might have some from Building 4. Okay.
That works with me, thank you. Last subject. Do you know any other people you'd recommend to talk to in regards to the history of Bryant? Whether either retired or still here, if you have a contact.
Mr. Seal, who just retired this last year and was here for 37 years in this district, loves to talk and loves to share. So that may be someone to turn around and reach out to and talk to him. David Seal. talked to, the Benton's mayor,
Farmer, I think.
Tom Farmer. Taught here, went to school here. Both of his sons did. He was athletic director for here, transportation director, football coach. So that's one you could definitely turn around and reach out to. There's not a lot of staff that are still here that have been around. There's not many that have been here longer than I have, actually. So had quite a few retire in the last 5 years that have been here for a while.
Well, I know somebody that might be able to get you a hold of Tom Farmer, but as far as Mr. Steele, does he have like a home email or a business email?
I can look and see if I can find it. I'll send it to you.
Awesome, that'd help out a lot, because I've been doing this since October, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going really. This is maybe one of my last interviews, maybe 3 more after this one. So I've interviewed like maybe 8 teachers already. So
yes. So yeah, when you look at 2000, when I started here, where we're sitting at right now, this would have all been the junior high. So this would have been the Bryant Junior High Mustangs. So
Mustangs.
Yes, the junior high was the Mustangs. Was the mascot.
And the high school's Hornets.
Yes.
I never knew about the Mustangs.
Oh yes. Bryant Junior High Mustangs.
Was there ever? No, this is another off the nose question. This is new news to me, so just pardon me.
Okay.
Do you have any photos of their mascot, or maybe with because we have a hornet, like the hornet on that sign's our logo, our mascot.
I mean, that's the newest one. I mean, our logo has changed a lot from the kind of Popeye the Sailor looking hornet that we used to have with the big muscles and flexing to, and then the stingers. So we had Mustangs, we had stingers. I don't know. I'll have to look and see if I've got any old stuff from way back when I first started. I don't know if I've got any mascot stuff, but here again, check the library and go to the yearbooks and pull those from the late 90s. And
that's where I actually dig to be like, I wonder if there's any teachers who work here. And then whenever Mr. Barksdale told me, well, I know that Mr. Maxwell's worked here for a long time. I went to yearbooks to see how far back your name went. So I was like, okay, so let's go interview him.
Yes. Mr. Barksdale was a student of mine. So.
He was the very first person I talked to interview.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
All right.
And I will get back to you about it.
Sounds good. Good luck.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
After watching that, you kind of get a hint of what was going on. I just put the entire interview in there so y'all could also kind of understand what else was said, so y'all guys aren't like, he's leaving stuff out. Because I heard someone say that before, and I'm like, you know what? I might post the full interviews after the series, just so you can watch the interviews front to back. I might have to cut down the one with Coach Westbrook, because at the end we talked about personal stuff that we're not putting in there. So, man, okay. I want to keep going. So, 2015, this is another thing kind of resulting in the millage. In 2015, Building 2 was moved into cargo crates. So, they had these big old crates that they put outside Building 2. Teachers would move their classrooms into them to get ready to destroy Building 2. Building 2 was destroyed in 2015, I believe. And Building 2, once it was empty, it kind of just sat there locked up to be destroyed. Building 2 at the time was destroyed. Building 4 gym was destroyed, and Building 5 cafeteria was destroyed. They also destroyed destroyed Building 12 cafeteria, and they rebuilt it with Building 10 into the new one in 2018. 2016. Another sad news factor. Dadgummit, I dropped my marker. Another sad news. Y'all remember Edward Love, the guy I talked to about episode 2? How he was one of the biggest inspirations in Bryant, and he inspired teachers, and he inspired his entire school, got his own gym named after him. Edward Love passed away in May of 2016. 2016 also was whenever they mostly tore down the buildings that were going to get remodeled anyway. So, for example, you had Hotel 8 and Motel 8, right? They destroyed Motel 8 to just make Building 8. Edward Love Auditorium was a small little building. It was kind of weird shaped. It was like that, and it was down, and it was like that, and there's like a tunnel where the band room was, and the auditorium. Destroyed it. It was because Jeremy Clay, he is the stagecraft coordinator. He also is kind of the one who runs the auditorium. He requested at the time to have a black box theater and to have like a workshop to build set and props. So after they passed that, that was what was confirmed and built. Building Edward Love, Old Love is what it's now referred to, but Old Love, when it was destroyed, many of the teachers got one of the bricks that came off of it. And the little bricks, I think they wrote their name on it in the year they got it. Some seniors got one, some teachers got one if they still teach there. It was kind of a memento. So, Building 10 was also official in 2016. It was officially built. The campus that we have today is the campus that was had in 2016. And after that, about 3 years later, down in 2019, Bryant Junior High was built. And Bryant Junior High has been standing there to this day still as well. Now, after 2019, another big thing happened. I hate talking about it, considering I might have had it earlier. In 2020, coronavirus started spreading through the United States. And it put everybody out of school. I wonder how many people were sad to not be able to see the junior high and its brand new, freshly painted walls. It was a pretty interesting thing. Everyone went virtual. I remember I was in 6th grade whenever we went quarantine. No one really failed because, some kids just went home. They hopped on the Xbox One. And then they played like Black Ops with their buddies and stuff like that. At the time, kids would play Roblox with their buddies. They play Fortnite with their buddies when it was brand new. Among Us was another big thing. That's about it. School started going back into about late 2021, but there was mandated masks. You had to wear a mask to walk into a public school. It's kind of funny our school's against that now. And then to this day, 2025, it's pretty much still the same. Now, so that covers, we've talked all the way through 1892, okay? All the way from 1892 to 2020. And that made no sense. To 2020. I'm going to pull 2 random cards right here. Bryant Schools was formed in 1916. All the way up to 2011 was when Building 10 began being built. If I'm right, which I'm usually pretty stupid when it comes to this kind of stuff. Our school's been here for about 106 years, about 107. And we've went through an entirety of episodes to see how far we have went from here to here. And it's pretty amazing, honestly. I know schools that started later than this and they're still up, but I also know schools who started earlier and they failed. So, Bryant High School used to be one of the biggest things then, because keep in mind, Bryant, Arkansas started because of a guy named James Bryant who built a small little town-state gas station in the middle of dead center Arkansas. Had no idea that one gas station was going to be the beginning of an entire legacy, of an entire campus, of an entire town that's known on the map of Arkansas. It's in fact considered a tourist attraction because we have a landmark right by Pinecrest Cemetery, right there what is it? I can't think of the road's name, but it's off of Bryant. It's off of Reynolds. Right by Pinecrest, and it is a monument for the geographical center of Arkansas. It's considered an attraction. What's crazy about this is that we're not even done with this docuseries yet. We still got 2 more episodes to go before we're done. So, before I hold y'all with all my yapping, let's go to the presentation and look at the last few photos I got y'all. Alright, we're back where we left off. 1999. Let's go to 2000. So, here's the band outfits. Yeah, they're a little bit, you can tell they're a little older. Today's that we have, the ones that we have today, they kind of have like a B and it like got a circle around it, lines coming up of it. And it stands for Legacy of Bryant. It says like Bryant Legacy Band, I think. But this is kind of an example of that. Derpy mascot. I told you I was going to get to it. I just think this is so like uncanny considering our mascot today looks a little more jacked and this one kind of just looks, hey. But still, it's part of history. Whoever this lady is, she's enjoying this mascot. Okay, so we have something like this in our counselor's office too. But this is basically, my hair's sticking out like crazy. So, this is like where you get your information about going to college or scholarships. And this is the counseling center. I have a theory that this is either building 17 or this is building 2. I think it's building 17 because, one, that same font, if you look at the last video I did over the tour through building 17, this same font lettering was on that same font lettering was on the side of the building to find the assistant principal's office. But also, not to mention, there's only one area I know that's old that has a flat wall, and a blue rimmed door. And I bet you this is on that wall in there. I just didn't see it. If not, then I'm wrong and it could be building 2. But that's just a theory. Okay, another picture from there. A 2000s computer. I can't tell if this is at school or at home. Oh, it's definitely at home. Glass cup. But still, You can tell students are avid workers, okay? I guess that's one thing you could put in there. Here's what I was talking about. Senior Nicole Parrish talks to Mr. Alan Peake at the bomb threat of August 20th. Students were bused to First Southern Baptist Church where they stayed while the school was searched. So, again, this is during that bomb threat I was talking about in 2000. I thought it was 2001, so pardon me, y'all. I'm sorry. But this was an excerpt straight out of a yearbook. Guys cross country. Yep. 2003. So these almost look identical to the ones we have today. Because white lettering. Nike's kind of a sponsor for Bryant stuff. It's not red. Okay, this is building 1. I only added this because I have a thought. Yeah, I think there's like, is that red or is that like a lighter blue? I don't know. But I have a thought that, because at the time they had 2 different, well no, this is 2003, I take that back. Never mind. Yeah, this is one of their state games. This guy in the corner looks kind of like you don't want to be there. This is out of school. Is this guy playing a video game at school? I'm just noticing these in the photos. Probably because I'm up close to on a big screen. Don't know. And that's all the photos. Yeah, we just went through a fair few photos. Yeah. That's fun, I guess. Anyways, like I told y'all before, I have something special for the end. We're nearing the end of this, so let's get to that now. Okay, so, I'm ready for this. I've been waiting for this the entire episode. So, look behind me. If you can't tell, I like hats. See, like, church camp hat. It's comfy. Adidas hat. Also really comfy. Let's see, one more. Non-biased opinion hat. It don't fit me, but I like it. There's one hat, though, that I like most of all. It is a special hat, specifically from Arkansas Traditions Company in Benton. After sponsorship came in and product placement, these hats are grand, okay? These hats, they don't fit too small. They're perfect head width. They don't mess with you. They're not itchy or nothing. Amazing hats. I specifically ordered the one that has the Bryant Horn on it. Arkansas Traditions, amazing company. All store ran. Hats are $25. I don't know about the other products. I just wanted the hat. But they make amazing products. So I'll go ahead once more. Special thank you to Arkansas Traditions for being a proud sponsor of Austin J Productions and One Buzz One Campus. Here's the QR code to go to the Facebook. Here's kind of the, I guess here's my, I forgot what I could call it. Here's my advertisement thing. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But that's going to conclude episode 8. And I'm hoping that y'all guys enjoy y'all's day. Remember that this has been taking a lot of time. I'm sorry I haven't posted so recently. However, things are coming good. Like I promised, things were working out. So, on that note, wish me better because my throat's still scratchy. I'm coughing still, but I'm getting there. And without further ado, I'll see y'all episode 9. And once again, thank you to Arkansas Traditions for the hat sponsorship. Y'all are amazing. See y'all next time.